Yeah, Attitude Era Podcast. It's a Friday night. Thank y'all for tapping in with us. I hope you had your notification bell on, because if you did, you probably got that message right about now. Oh, man. But y'all know what it is. It's your guys' Attitude Era. You see the guy on the right or on the left, depending on how you're looking at your screen. Your favorite wrestler's favorite podcaster. If you think your favorite wrestler is famous, ain't got a picture with Gamage, he ain't as famous as you think he is. That's that guy, and you know who I am. I need no introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. The undisputed podcast champion of the world, King HP. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know why we're here. You know who we are, and you know why we're here. SmackDown tonight. General thoughts, feelings before we really get into it?
Overall, not a bad show. It wasn't a bad show. I won't. It's not the worst show they've done. It wasn't bad.
Okay, let me ask this too, because 3 hours is a lot. Do you think we have to get out of the constant comparison to Raw? So when Raw has a good one, we gotta expect SmackDown because are they really in competition? Do we need to keep doing that?
I don't think we do it because they're in competition. It's because just off the flow of what one show delivers, you got to follow it up.
Okay. I have to do that because a lot of people felt good when Monday Night Raw went off air. I ain't got that same feeling right now.
It wasn't gonna be better than what we've had with that promo. Nothing was gonna be better than that in this show.
Yeah, I definitely think there is a large, but and that's dope because also, you still build up. You got plenty of time. February 28th is the Elimination Chamber, so the WWE has time. Today's at 6. So you got 22 days, 3 weeks essentially, right? And the go home show is the night before, which will be SmackDown. Before we get into the Elimination Chamber. But where you want to start, beginning or end?
Let's get to the beginning.
Come on,
we had Drew, trying to do his little entrance in the beginning. Got interrupted immediately by Cody. Was wasted no time, and if you're familiar with the Rumble, Drew cost him his spot to go to Mania or to even advance further into the Rumble, and Cody wasn't having that.
Let me ask this question then. With Drew, who has to turn up in this feud? I feel like we're not that, again, you don't have to follow Raw, right? But I feel like this is at a disadvantage because we've gotten Drew versus Cody, I think at least twice. WrestlePalooza was one.
WrestlePalooza, and what did they do? I'm trying to remember the other. I feel like they did Saturday Night Main Event.
I think that might have been what it was.
Yeah, because they did Saturday Night Main Event like twice.
So you're looking at a resale package, essentially, right? Which not all the time is bad or whatever. What needs to change? Because I don't. You've given us Drew versus Cody on big stages in the last year.
Well, clearly Jacob is involved in this as well. I will say they need to allow Cody to be more aggressive.
Do we need to see heel tactics from Cody? Do we need to reverse roles? I'm not saying make Drew a babyface, but I will say, does Cody got to be like, I don't know what he could do or say to make him turn heelish versus a Drew McIntyre.
I feel like he could do some heel tactics where he won't be looked as heel because it's Drew, but it'll at least make him not look so goody two shoes, if that makes sense.
Okay, so let me ask. Let me. What up, Tammy? Ella Roadblocks. What up? Could revealing the attacker to Jacob Fatu being per se Cody Rhodes change things? And Cody being like, yeah, I took you out. You're getting on my nerves. All this yada I mean, and blah, blah, blah. Like, would that increase? And then Drew gets to sit back like a fat cat and be, pulling, kind of like not pulling strings, but letting them kind of, is that going to enhance this, or does WWE got to look to do something from left field a little bit on this one?
If they go that route, I think it helps.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I almost think left field is where WWE. I almost think you need to make it a fatal 4-way, add someone else into the mix. LA Knight, make it to where we don't know. Even if you eat, I'm
gonna tell you why it's not gonna be LA Knight, even though that's like a random pick. They put him back feuding with the Vision for whatever reason.
They should fire him from. Is he on Raw or SmackDown? I thought he was on SmackDown.
He's on Raw. He's been on Raw for like a year.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm tripping. They should fire him. They should fire him right from Raw. SmackDown being like, hey, we recognize talent here. And I know you were with us for a while, blah, 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 blah. But, man, we got a spot for you. Matter of fact, I got a spot just for you. And it's the Elimination Chamber match. And he gets in somehow, some way, or, he finds a way to work into that main event spot. He's not working on nothing. I just don't think Jacob Fatu being dropped into the mix turns Cody Drew into a heater. You know what I'm saying? Like Punk Roman, that's big. And pause. I think it got bigger with their promo. I think it was a good match. It would have been good on paper. However, their promo, out of here. People forgot how good this could be and how much, because, we barely saw Reigns in 2025. And he lost the title in 2024. It was, I can't wait for him to come back. It's going to be all this business. And we just didn't get it, man. For the last, 18 months, then there 2 years, like he said, we didn't get much Roman. I think Drew was beefing with the Bloodline when they all of a sudden went a hard left. I just shout out to Kelly Pavlik and Maurice Claret. Is crazy. I do think that you got to add somebody else. I just think LA Knight's the logical choice. That's not logical because, again, he's nowhere near this feud. But you need something to heat this thing up. Cody getting mad and talking crazy is not. I don't know. I've already gotten this for on 3 different occasions. Jacob doesn't talk much.
Yeah.
So, I
get it. They got work to do with this one.
Yeah, they got work, but I just think I don't know. Salute to them. But
I'll say this. Because, I'm going ahead, but Randy Orton won his Elimination Chamber advancement. So, if he wins, and that makes it a fatal 4 for him, Drew, Cody, Jacob, does that help it? If we're talking fatal 4.
Randy Orton might be the better choice. I think Randy Orton is a legit heater because there's him and Drew. That's always good money. I don't think there's a need to reveal that Jacob was Randy was Jacob's assailant, but having him and Jacob in a match together that's going to look good on paper. And then obviously the big deal of him and Cody. We've been wanting this and waiting for this, and I just think you could do it. I think you could do it, and it wouldn't be so bad to even team them up for a match prior to one of your Saturday night main events. Jacob and Drew versus Randy and Cody, and then it goes to Hell in a Handbasket. I think that's a better choice than LA Knight. That might work better. What else we had, Gamad?
So when that happened, we had the women's tag team match for the belts, that which is actually the first match of the night. So Rio versus Julia and Kiana James.
Anna James.
If anyone had any hope after the Royal Rumble that Kiana James would look better from how she presented herself there, yeah, not gonna happen.
Hey man, we can't. Yo, I got hope, man. I got hope. I think Kiana James has a large upside. Not world title status, but she'd be good for your mid tier scene with Julia. Whenever you have a partnership, Julia being champion, her being I don't know what she's, her manager, her handler, whatever. There's always room to grow that and turn it into a rivalry. It's a money card. It's been good since the test of time. They do it in comic books. They do it in WWE. They do it on it's just always going to work. Right. I do think.
Go ahead.
No. I just think them being a tag team in a stacked division shows the depth of the women's tag division right now, because that's a tag team that doesn't have a world champion. Her being U.S. champion is like your mid-tier champion with, a potential mid-tier contender. The next best or next closest to that is like Nia and Lash. Lash hasn't won any world titles. We see it maybe mid-tier world titles in her future. Nia but has been a multiple time world champion. So as far as not as strong tag teams, this is like your weakest one. And this is not a weak tag team on paper or anything. So salute to the WWE women's tag team division right now. Salute.
Yeah, they did have like some few moments that were cool. Like Julia and Io had a few moments. They actually had a nice little one-off for a bit. Kiana James and Julia did like this combo on Io, and it was pretty sick. Like it ended up as like a double power bomb splash. I can't remember how the sequence went, but it was pretty cool. But other than that, you knew they weren't winning.
Yeah, I think they're not dropping them titles before Mania unless an injury or something happens.
No, I'm telling you, once the Bella Twins made it clear they want the belts, I knew immediately they're not dropping that till Mania, because I think the Bellas get it. I think the Bellas get those belts at Mania.
Don't say those things. The Bellas?
Look, I don't like it. How I don't care about them, but on paper for Mania, that's gonna, they got their fan base.
You're right. 100%. We saw them in Saudi. They got a good pop. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Vinny, I think you're right. It is the last. I didn't put your other comment, your Connect 4. You didn't even play Connect 4. It wasn't even called Connect 4. You know how like they have Captain Crunch and then they have that cereal that has a little star and like, if you like Captain Crunch, try me. You had me play that game. I don't know what that game was. It ain't had no uprights on the side to hold the board. It was crazy. Vinny, you don't be ambushed by Vinny. And the game always let Vinny go first. You know what I'm saying? And Connect 4. So if you get to a stalemate, you know who gets the last go. So if you start setting these things up, you just come on, bro. But nah, salute to him and his. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Kevin, that's a lie. We all know the Bella t-shirt. Wait, what? Yeah. Gamachi thinks you must have a Bella shirt because I ain't got no Bella shirt.
I got a what now?
A Bella shirt, the Twist t-shirt.
Well, let me say this, and I say this respectfully. It's a reason why I never got a photo with the Bellas, and that's by choice. So what makes you think I got any of their merch?
I mean, you have a belt signed by the Big Show and Kurt Angle, brother.
And I met them.
You ain't never met the Bellas?
No, I've seen them, but have I?
Holy shit! So is the saying true? Is the saying true? I just need a yes or a no. Is the saying true? Y'all know it. Y'all, hey, this is your favorite wrestler's favorite podcast. If you think your wrestler is as famous as you think he is, and he ain't got a picture with Gamage, they ain't as famous as you. Holy shit! So they're not winning that Mania. They ain't got no picture with you. No, I'm not putting the Bellas over. What are we doing? Undisputed podcast champion of the world. Your favorite wrestler's favorite podcaster. If you think your favorite wrestler is famous and he ain't got a picture with Gamage, they ain't as famous as you think they is. I don't care how many shows they got. They ain't going over at Mania, man. They ain't doing it. Hell no. He saw them. That's even worse. You looked at them and they same face and was like, nah.
I ain't gonna lie, I really was like that. Like, nah, I'm good.
Yo.
No disrespect, but I'm good.
Dog, that's the most hilarious story ever. To look at them and be like, you about to lower my stock. If I take a picture with you, people, nah, be good. They're famous. Nah.
Let's you know what that day. Let's put it like this. I'm looking at it like, I mean, I still wasn't gonna care to get them, but it's like Bella Twins is over there, Tori Wilson and Stacy Cleaver's over there. So who you think I'm picking?
Yo, I'm with you. I think man, I'm with you, Gamage. I'm with you. I'm actually a little shocked to hear that. I would have never heard that story. Maybe it's like, oh, I missed the Bellas. Like, you know, they were at this place. I was supposed to be there, blah, blah, blah. My man said, I saw them. I looked at them. And it wasn't worth it. Oh, my God. Gamage, I ain't going to lie to you. I'm a little bit different. I would have saw the Bellas and thought of a pretzel.
That's fair.
Archie in the building. You know what I'm saying? Hey, much love, good sir. Much love, good sir. We can't wait to see you get back. You know what I'm saying? With everything you got going on. Kevin, yeah, we definitely can't support this Sunny.
No.
Oh man, definitely cannot support this Sunny. It's the Sunny. I think she's locked up currently. A lot of drinking and driving.
Yeah,
lots of hitting people. I think she killed somebody actually.
She did. 70-plus-year-old got mad.
Yeah, oh, man. So we ain't gonna speak on her. If we can't speak on CB, we ain't speaking on her either. I don't believe in accidents when you're drinking.
And she's had multiple DUIs.
Yeah. It's not an accident. It's not like, oh, I had a beer. You know. Anyway, another day, another subject. But the Bellas winning at Mania. I get it. I get pushes. I get it. There's no way possible for me to believe after watching Rio tonight that they can lose. I mean, are you gonna run interference on this? Someone's gonna have to come out. That's okay. Maybe that.
I think it only makes sense. Well, one, interference, or if you make it a multi-woman tag match. That's the only way I see it being believable.
Multi-woman tag match. Okay. I think there's enough star power in that. That's all all your big dogs are in that division, in the tag division. Like we just talked about, what was it? Julia Kiana. And let's not even forget, you still got some NXT talent, Zarya and Sol Ruka.
Right.
Also on that. So you don't want to dispel, because one of those two was the finalist in the Royal Rumble, or right. One of the last four, one of the final four, last three actually.
You have that.
So
you have Bayley, Lyra. You still got Charlotte and Alexa Bliss.
It's a lot.
The
You
Kabuki
still got
Warriors.
Liv and Raquel or Liv and Roxanne, depending on what their combo is. We're forgetting somebody. It's everybody but their champions.
Yeah. Oh, and Nia and Lash.
On I ain't lying. Yep. So that's a lot. So you could definitely, if you want to eat up clock and put the big names to draw, because that's what they're looking to do. You're in Vegas. You got to put names in the marquee. Let's not act like we don't understand this. The Bellas versus Rio versus who do you bring out there next?
Like as part of the Mania match, or like
Yeah. If you did Mania with these tag teams, because they're gonna have to defend them at Mania, I would think.
I mean, if I'm
You're
going
not keeping
off
Rio off Mania.
If I'm going off star power, I feel like I have to say Alexa and Charlotte.
Ooh.
And they also, I could be wrong, they have not gone one-on-one in a tag match yet for the belts.
I think you might be right.
So that's
not one-on-one.
Yeah, not one-on-one. That hasn't happened.
So I think you can save it. Me personally, I get it. Star power though. You said it. Me personally, I get star power. I wouldn't use the Bellas on Mania.
Oh no, if it was up to me, I'd rather it be Alexa and Charlotte versus Rio. To me, that would be better.
Yeah.
But I would feel foolish if I feel like they didn't put them in there, even though I don't want that.
Facts. And Mike, absolutely, they need to bring Soul up. I also would like some understanding on how they're doing NXT. So I guess that's everybody who comes in the company. If you're not coming from, I guess everybody, because off the top of my head, Jade was like the last one who just went straight to the main roster, didn't have an NXT stint at all. But everybody else who's coming from developmental or from another company, Ricky Saints or Starks, whatever we're calling them.
Technically, Royce Keys. Well, actually, we don't know because he ain't debuted officially at any of these shows.
Yeah, Jordan Grace, Joe Hendry, they're all tied down in NXT. So, Jordan's on the main roster now, but she debuted in the Royal Rumble as a TNA Knockouts champion, only to later go down to NXT. So, I say that to say this: there's a lot of talent, and female division is stacked, but I feel like they're passing time with some of this because you got to break some of this up. You've got to. I would never break up Nia and Lash. I would let that work for as long as you need it to, because when you put two powerhouses, I don't want to call them the Warlord and Barbarian, but that's the vibe I get when I see them. Not physically, like I don't see the Warlord and Barbarian. I think they're some of the most beautiful women on roster. But how they wrestle, the purpose of how they're wrestling, like they're the powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? They're here for strength spots. They're here for the big, you know what I'm saying? Nia Jax, even though she's lost a lot of weight compared to, go back 2-3 years, you know what I mean? She's still she's still used in a style where she's the big, you know what I'm saying? Like
she would still be like considered a
heavyweight.
She would still be considered a giant, like for the women's division.
Yeah, yes, 100%. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. I didn't want to say nothing crazy because I'm like, man,
no.
Whew, I love me some Nia. I ain't gonna lie, all of her, all of you. Anyway, we ain't gonna get into John Legend tonight.
So yeah, I know. Little after that, speaking of Nick, we had Kill Wilson come out. He was ranting for a bit by not being in Mania, the whole toxic thing. And then to our surprise, he calls out somebody for a match, and we get
Wakanda forever!
Oba. And he squashed him.
Rightfully so.
He squashed him, and that's how it should have been anyway.
Here's my problem with Obafemi. I don't know. I don't want to say this a lot because I don't want to jinx nothing. Where you start is usually where I think the WWE sees you. One could argue he started against Cody Rhodes. That was his first match, remember? Or one could argue the stuff he's doing now, since it's really being brought up official, is this stuff. So I'm not sure. And I bring that up because, like, when you look at like a Rusev, who did Rusev start beefing with when he first just came back? Tazawa and Otis.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who did Jacob Fatu beef when he came in? Randy Orton, KO, and Cody. So I think it matters because if I beef with the low bottom of the barrel, it's hard to escape it. You remember when they repackaged Da Vinci? The first thing they had Da Vinci do after all that repackaging, they put him in the ring with Apollo Crews, someone we ain't seen on TV and damn near ever seen on TV.
Yeah.
And he lost. So, and Rusev, man, you want to talk about we're burying you? We're burying you. We have no problem doing it. That man was in the Royal Rumble for 1 minute. He didn't even help to make Oba look strong.
Yeah.
You just eliminated him. You could have used that as Oba is not waiting for people because Rusev got in there, and then he has to eliminate Rusev, and then he clears the Rumble from there after because Rusev, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, Rusev is too. You don't have any good heels, and Rusev's whole gimmick is kind of whack. How you had him coming back where he's just like, I'm focused and all this other stuff he was saying. I think that works for a while. Rusev doesn't have to say much to be over as a heel. I'm from one of these countries. Who was my man that Conor McGregor threw the chair out on a bus?
Damn. It's not ringing a bell in my mind.
Khabib, not Caleb. Khabib, right? We all watched how good Khabib was. And Khabib got super over with audiences, right? Man of very few words. Now, I'm not going to say he played a villain role compared to Conor McGregor, but you got to look at, like, people. WWE does this all the time. Let's not act like, you know, they look for outside influences to inspire characters or personalities or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think for Rusev, that's the kind of way he needs to be. Not much spoken. You want to fight? Okay. I'm here because, and since you have him using the Rusev name, which is what he used the first time, I'm here because last time I didn't get the job done. I was worried about everything else, but beating your ass, I take no. You know, just have him not quote Thanos, but just have him talk like Thanos a little bit, like, you know.
I mean, I do think when he was feuding with Sheamus for a little bit at one point, that he was going in the right direction, and then it got lost.
Yes. And I don't want to keep hearing about creative, like, that we don't have idea. Like, you guys suck then. Why do we even call you creative if you're not creative? Right? Like, what is the sense? So you should be able to look at TV shows and get inspired by things. Like the Stone Cold character came from Steve Austin watching a documentary on serial killers. And then his wife happened to bring some tea to him and said, hurry up and, some hot tea. And she was like, hey, you need to hurry up and drink that before it gets stone cold. And bam, Stone Cold was born. And then later he gave the promo. So if you're not watching TV and thinking of things and how to improve your character now that doesn't mean he hasn't tried and they haven't knocked it down. But if you're going to have Oba do that to people, Kit Wilson's always a good choice. Like, he does nothing but it does nothing for the Oba. Oba doing that to War Raiders kind of just messed up the tag team division, low key.
Yeah, low key.
It's set up because you're still trying to get your Raw tag team division up, and here you got one guy coming out of NXT, and guess what? He ain't even had a match, but he just dominated one of your tag teams.
Yeah,
so
former tag team champs at that.
Yes. Yeah. So he really did more harm than good in that sense. But if you're gonna put the chips on Oba, great job, because it also showed he is very dominant. Like, so, sometimes you want to make a cake, you gotta break eggs, right? So, hey man, no one likes the tag team division here anyway. We can always unify with the Usos once we get that thing going, and now we have one legitimate tag team people recognize, and yeah. So Kit Wilson, and I think his character sucks too. Not just because he's like, the masculinity, but just like no one cares, bro. We'd rather just not see you on TV, and I don't even want to waste the time to boo you.
Yeah, he got the music. That's what it is, though. But
Yeah.
I will. So my question now would be: is Oba on SmackDown or not? Because this was an official match.
I think they're gonna keep playing it back and forth.
Okay.
I think that's the thing to do. I think WWE, if they don't want to mess things up, they need to take a hard look at who do we have. Again, I know they're probably not, because when we saw on Real, we see that they look very ill prepared, but they should have the roster with notes of where each person is doing, where they're heading for Mania. Where do they fit into each title picture? Is so-and-so a guy we use to get guys over? Is so-and-so, he's a gatekeeper, right? This guy's a gatekeeper for the mid-tier title. What do you mean? When people wrestle him, we do a little series, 3 matches over a course of 4 months, 5 months, or whatever. If the crowd don't get behind that person, either as a heel or a babyface, if the crowd don't, then we go, okay, you're not ready, whatever. So back down you go. Versus, and the baby and your measuring stick guy, your gatekeeper, is going to constantly change. Like right now, if I'm on SmackDown, my gatekeeper is Solo Sikoa. At any moment, Solo Sikoa could be your U.S. champion. Any moment. Makes all the sense in the world. And at the same time, I can use him to see the temperature. I can temperature check. Because one, he has a stable. So I can cheat my way all the way up to the title, and ain't shit no one can do about it. 2, if things get dull, you can always tie me back to Roman and the boys, right? 3, I have enough size that I can do things by myself. If Solo might be better suited going babyface, because he really kind of does get over with the fans in a good way, because they think he's a funny guy, and he's, Solo, you always see him, these clips of him on the internet doing these impersonations of people's mannerisms and such.
Yeah.
I see the chat talking. Oba looked better on Raw for me, for real. I agree. Oba needs to be on Raw. The SmackDown roster needs a shot in the arm. Even Drew said it. Oh my God. Royce Keys, I think, is going to NXT. Again, this is what they've done with a lot of the talent that's come in these last couple of years. Think about any new talent we've got. Where do they go? NXT. Jordan Grace is just getting to the main roster. Where's Joe Henry? He signed with WWE. He did the Royal Rumble. Guess where he's at? He's in NXT. I mean, that's just the way they do business.
Do you think he should be in NXT, or he should go straight to the roster? Royce Keys.
Royce Keys?
Yeah.
I think you should go ahead and bring him straight to the main roster. Bring some excitement back. Every so often, you got to just bring Jacob Fatu. I'm actually wrong. Jacob Fatu did not go to NXT. He came straight to main roster. Like that. No, not even a match. No tie-in either. Like he did some thing for like how Zilla has made. You know what I'm saying? He through the TNA thing, he kind of did some stuff with the Hardys in NXT and whatnot. You're right. Penta and Ray Phoenix both came up. So you're right. So there's a few instances. There's a few instances actually. So Royce Keys can go to straight main roster.
So let me ask this also, like as a little throwback. When AJ debuted at the Royal Rumble, because he went straight to the roster. He could have gone to NXT, but he chose not to. You think that was the right choice?
Fuck yes.
Okay.
You can't. Hey, sometimes you just got to go for it. Like if you would have put AJ in NXT, you would have killed AJ. You would have killed AJ. AJ would have been super over down there. But why wait? Why wait? He's the face of TNA. He would like a lot of things I do disagree with. I don't think Ricky Stark should have went down there. But I think when I look at what WWE Creative has done, we finally seeing Shinsuke again. You know what I mean? When I look at how they have mothballed some wrestlers, hey, you're better off going to NXT and getting that run and staying relevant and getting hot. AJ didn't need that.
Yeah.
He was already a veteran by the time. Yeah, AJ was super over. But again, Shinsuke Nakamura went to NXT.
Yeah. So did Samoa Joe.
So did Samoa Joe. So did Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they're less or more than AJ. I'm just saying there are people that are in his peer bracket. You know what I'm saying? That are comparable to him.
But it's kind of crazy when you think about it that the three we mentioned, Finn, Shinsuke, and Joe, they were never taken that seriously as main eventers. But AJ was. At least at this point in time. At least AJ was.
So, do you think that there's a hindrance of going to NXT as an indie like it didn't hinder Seth Rollins, it did not hinder Mox, it didn't hinder Roman.
I'll say this:
but they weren't indies guys that made
I think it hinders you if you've become massively over through the indies. With Seth Rollins, not saying he wasn't over in the indies, but he wasn't
Tyler Black.
Massively over like how AJ Styles was, like how Samoa Joe.
Right, facts. I don't think anyone would debate that. Oh, that is good.
If it was towards that level, maybe it wouldn't have been as good for Seth. Personally, that's my opinion. But if he had that, I don't know. Shoot, look how they did Sami Zayn. You can even make the case for Kevin Owens.
Ooh, I'm playing with my lights, y'all. Oh, I like this.
But yeah, so I do think it varies on how massively over you've gotten yourself outside of the company. And I think that hinders how you do going from either straight to the main roster, or NXT first.
The only way I can see an indie going to NXT if they haven't been in the game for a long time, but if someone like AJ's been wrestling for 20 plus years, then he should go to main roster. Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't think everybody down in NXT should be in NXT right now, but
yeah,
I don't work there. You know what I mean? I don't get to make those calls.
Right.
But that's a very interesting point. I think it can definitely stifle the careers of some. Oh man, I like that. Atrocious.
I feel like one of the few people you could kind of give a pass, but it's complicated, is maybe Drew McIntyre. Because granted, he started in WWE, in the main roster, but he left or they fired him. I don't remember which it was. Got back popping in the indies, but then he chose to start over to revitalize himself in NXT. Went back to the main roster. Fast forward to now.
I was just reading something about Drew McIntyre with his wife, and they had that domestic incident, and shortly after that, he was let go from the company. Drew's got a pretty good story too. So salute to all those guys. Kevin Owens was down there. I forgot. Kevin Steen. He was in NXT.
And he went to NXT. But when he came up, he wasn't taken serious as a main eventer, though. The man won the Universal Championship and was not taken seriously.
I would agree. Unfortunately, I would agree.
Yeah.
Although when he first came, because his first pop-out was against John Cena. Like, now that I think about it, John Cena's open challenge makes a lot of sense. They should just never do that again. Because it was like, I'm giving people the opportunity to do whatever, you know what I mean? And he took on people that had big independent names and for some reason were down at NXT. Sami Zayn. got a shot at John Cena. Sami Zayn, El Jericho had a major indie run. Kevin Steen had a remember, he was like, I'm not gonna fight you. I'll do it on my Kevin actually, his promo back with John was like, yo, this dude's legit.
I think
If WWE thought it wasn't gonna pull the trigger on him, they
I think throughout that US Open challenge, I do think him and Owens like was the bigger standout in terms of like the promo.
Fuck yes.
Because Kevin Owens was the only one, well, because he was still NXT champion when he did do that.
Yes.
And then when he powerbombed Cena, it was, this is the real belt. That belt, remember he stomped on the belt.
Yes, he stomped on it. Bro, he was
shit.
Next level on some shit.
Yo, like
WWE dropped the ball. When I look back, when we start talking about hindsight, like Kevin Owens was next level. He was ready. He was built for the big lights. I mean, he didn't crack under. Matter of fact, he got the better of John. Low-key, he got the better of John. You can't tell me otherwise. I remember that. The one thing I remember about the U.S. Open and John Cena's, we talk about Randy, we talk about Edge. Kevin Owens is legitimately one of John Cena's top 5 rivals. Legit, like no bullshit. Like I know people like, no, man, nah, time out. Nah, fuck all that. Hey, Kevin Owens made a name out of John Cena. I almost want to go back and rewatch that because that was cinema. That was the best part of the show back then. Ooh. Whew. His skill set, that pop-up power bomb. Oh. Yeah, John looking crazy. Crowd. I think there was time you can't wrestle back, man. Oh my god.
Bro, I'm telling you, when Vince said why he would not put Kevin over, it paused. It was his body.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. Like I mentioned prior, if he had a similar like AJ Styles like body type, Vince would have been in love with KO.
Yeah. 100%. Because KO definitely he 100%. Damn. Hey, Gamaj, man, you about to take me down memory lane tonight. I'm about to be, you know what I'm saying, on Netflix or whatever, trying to watch. I never quit when times got tough. He went part-time. I was there when the world shut down. Roman, I know why you picked Punk. On one hand, you've got a 280-pound warrior, and on the other hand, you've got Fragile Phil. I don't know if I sound like him at all, but in my brain, I did. Oh my god. But yeah, I think NXT indie stars, WWE got to figure it out. And maybe they do got to figure it out. This is their plan. But long term, it's hard to show the people that went to NXT first.
I will say, as of right now, the way they're going about the system, it's better than how they were doing it then at a certain point. Like when they did the NXT 2.0, not what it is now. Because for you to have in the Royal Rumble, Oba, Javon, and Trick have their moment, and that had a huge pop for that, that means it's working. To a degree, it's working.
Yeah, I agree. Salute to Archie, man. The first time I heard that term was Archie. Fragile Phil. I don't know if we coined that phrase, but that was the first time I heard it. Fragile Phil. Damn, man. I think the WWE is going to look back because I don't know. I don't want to say anything super crazy. Eventually, in the next few years, there'll be another star that comes from somewhere, like MJF, right? MJF comes over. Where's he going?
I would hope he just goes to the main roster.
I mean, Joe Hendry is down in NXT.
I mean, we see how they treat TNA, though. The one thing, the one thing MJF has to his advantage as to why he could go straight to the main roster, he's cool with a lot of the main guys over there.
Yeah, I would say so.
So,
Ooh.
granted, some of a few of the women did, like Mariah May, now Blake Monroe, but she chose to go to NXT, and I think for her that was a better option because, not to sound stereotypical with where I'm gonna go with this,
Do it.
She's your like, when I say average in terms of like how her style is, she physically comes off as an average blonde, so she wouldn't stand out.
So to kind of harden your point, you already have Tiffany Stratton, who's the most perfectly average blonde. There is nothing about Tiffany Stratton that screams off the page, but her look is vastly different than Nia Jax, Lash Legend, even Alexa Bliss, Roxanne, right? Liv Morgan is an edgier blonde, right? Charlotte is a blonde, but she's more in the surfer build.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got Sol Ruka, who was actually black and white. And she doesn't, you know, when you look at her, you're not gonna be like, Happy Black History Month, right? That's just not gonna jump off the page. But reality is that she is that. But she's got the surfer look down pat, you know.
Right. For me, she didn't have a gimmick that would help her stand out, to give her her own identity. She's kind of doing that now in NXT. Apparently, I think it's working. But if she had just went straight to the main roster, she would have had a problem.
Yeah, they did used her to get beat up on a weekly. She'd have been like how they did Machine. And Machine, WWE got to get over their Asian problem. We talk about black champions, and Farouk was Ron Simmons was the first, and The Rock was the first in WWE, but there ain't been no Asian champ that I remember. And Shinsuke won the Royal Rumble. And I was thinking about this because I was, watching Shinsuke tonight.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That ball was dropped and then kicked.
Yeah, bad.
Punted across the field after they did it. So I don't know. And I feel like you can still use Shinsuke.
Yeah.
Maybe not world champion, but god damn.
You would have thought after the recent match he had with AJ, what, two weeks ago? That would have been like, oh, that's right. He's actually this fire. We could use him.
Yeah, 100%. He should be one of your staples because, one, he has an Asian audience. Two, he was overall across the world. And now with AJ gone, there's him and AJ are neck and neck.
Yeah.
So to not be able to, we can't figure out anything for him. Are you fucking kidding me? Who did you guys hire? McDonald's writers? Oh, man, we got nothing for Grimace. Of course not, because you guys, what? Absolute malarkey, flabbergasted at this crap. They have they should take Unreal off. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not making it. It's not. It's like, oh man, I gotta catch the next episode. It's making it has not painted the WWE backstage picture in a good light.
And that's what makes
either season.
And this is what makes what Bruce Pritchard said about how the Attitude Era is inferior to like now. Because then it's like, you don't know what the fuck you're planning for this era. So how are you gonna tell me it's better than the Attitude Era?
The Attitude Era could have been completely rock, paper, scissors, shoot, put names in a hat. We're gonna pull out, and they got it right. You guys have a boardroom. You're sitting in there. You're spitballing ideas. And it could have been like that back then. It could have not been like that back then. But ain't no way. And then we're hearing. We didn't get to see how the writers do. Like Vince Russo always gets a bad rap because of what happened with WCW. But let's be clear. Vince Russo is actually one of the guys who should be like, nah, man. Like, no one thinks about Jordan's bad years. They say they don't count. But when it comes to other people and their stuff, they be quick to bring that shit up.
Yeah.
Vince Russo, he's the reason WCW. Yeah, not really. Go watch the documentaries. There's like four distinctly different. There's a lot of parts that broke down WCW. Overpayment, mishandling, all your eggs in one basket. The TV executives at Turner did not want wrestling there, and were robbing Peter to pay Paul with the financials. So the money that WCW was bringing in was being thrown to other things, and WCW not. It was a lot. It was not just Vince Russo killing product, right? And there's almost like no real finger. You can just point a whole. You can go like this, and all fingers point at all these different things. But I say that to say this: we don't know how the Attitude Era was written. They could have been like, "What do we need to do?" Remember, they said in that same documentary, that 4-part series, everyone just go out there. That's why every show used to end in these melee brawls. But don't shit at the wall and seeing if it stick. But WWE got to get it right. You could repeat some of these processes a little bit. Yeah, we need to end with a brawl. We need to end with someone getting their ass kicked. We need to put on matches.
But they also learn through house shows, something that they've cut off.
Yeah. Just because you're in a wrestling business doesn't mean you can run a wrestling company. These are two different things. People always got something to say. Wrestlers always try to defend themselves with this bullshit. I'm going to tell you right now, you go to any McDonald's and you look at the employees and you find their most tenured people, doesn't mean they can just open up a McDonald's and run one. It doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. People don't understand storytelling. People don't understand creative. A lot of people don't even understand economics. Everybody has an opinion, but you be like, what do you do in real life? And they be like, oh, and then you be like, okay, well, and then you start talking to them about their job and they suck at that too. You be like, God damn. All right, criticize WWE then. But they got to take Unreal off, because tonight there was a triple threat women's match, Elimination Chamber. We'll be out of here soon. Chelsea Green. There's a saying in real life, maybe you never heard of it, I don't know. Sometimes to get a promotion, you got to go to another company. You can keep advancing in your company, but they only pay you incrementally based on your initial salary. So you be like, damn, I'm looking for a bigger jump. I'm underpaid. And you be like, well, there's other companies that offer more money. So you literally have to go there and get your baseline salary reset. And then, sometimes that's how you got to move up. I say that to say this. We watched Unreal and we watched Chelsea Green get slandered. Not in like a super negative way, but like they just don't know what to do with something like, and then they say that she's not it. Chelsea Green should be having elections, taking polls. Chelsea Green should be like, the election's coming. What election? The number one contender election. And it's like, what? And literally, remember, we had Taboo Tuesday. She should start a campaign to get something where she's going to win. You're damn near guaranteed to get her to win. Chelsea Green's got all the personality in the world, and she wrestles good matches. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents, brother.
And Chelsea got a nice pop tonight.
And what was that, man? What was your... Oh, man. Should we put that U.S. title back on her? Because I don't... Did you expect her to go over in the match? Triple threat for the Elimination Chamber spot. Her, Lash Legend, and
Tiffany.
Thank you.
Did I think she was gonna win?
Yeah.
No, because it was Tiffany's return match, so I didn't expect her to win.
In my brain, she was gonna win, causing an issue between Lash and Tiffany. And because Tiffany had beef with Nia, it was going to draw towards that. And either you bring Tiffany a partner so she can be part of the tag team mayhem, or it's her versus Lash and Nia Jax. And we know the history there where Tiffany used to be her do girl, when she was trying to cash in her Money in the Bank. So yeah, I thought that was going to happen, and I was wrong. But WWE is wrong about Chelsea.
As the match went on, I did started rooting for Chelsea because the more she was getting over, the more I'm like, damn, I really wanted to win this shit.
I'm with you, brother. I'm definitely with you. Yeah, I WWE's got to figure it out. Hell no, Tiffany's in the Mania promo. Damn, you're right.
The other thing is, there's a rumor that she might face Jade again, but at Mania. That's the other rumor. If Bianca doesn't come back.
I'm cool if I never see. No, I could go with Tiffany and Jade. I don't think that's really a bad match. It's just I've already seen it, so I'm kind of like. I have a totally non-wrestling question, but it's popped up, and I just really want to ask this question. This is a hip hop and battle rap. Oh, man, So let me. So I asked the question. You got to get out of here, don't you?
Yeah, but I got some time. Yeah, I'm gonna signal you, but we good. We still good.
Okay, I was just looking at it. I was like, oh shit. Terrell, what up? What up? What up? Randy Orton needed the win. I almost wish he would have lost, brother. Because I can't see him winning the Elimination Chamber. So just don't give it to me. Don't tease it. Don't make me feel like this could be special. And it's not. Randy Orton. Now that would be if he got tripped up and changed around as Cody versus Drew versus Randy Orton. Like, whoa, we were wrong. It was never going to be Jacob Fatu or whatever. But I don't want to keep seeing Randy lose, man.
See, the reason why I knew Randy was winning is because they announced next week the next qualifying match on SmackDown is Cody, Jacob, and Sami Zayn.
Hence another reason I don't want to see Cody, Jacob, Drew. You're damn near giving me that match.
Now, what if they pull a swerve and Sami wins?
Fucking throw up.
Because Cody and Jacob, they're still feuding. They could get distracted, and Sami could
use that. Makes a lot of sense.
And there was a prediction of Sami I had, and I forgot to bring it up. So we know he lost at Saudi to Drew.
Yes, sir.
So my whole thing is, what if that was like his WrestleMania 39 for Cody, but he wins the belt next year at Saudi as a main event?
Oh, my bad. He's not that guy. I'm tired of there's so much other talent. The WWE is supporting. I mean, the WWE universe is like, we want him. And they're like, no. We hear you loud and clear, WWE universe. You want Sami Zayn. Like, are you fucking nuts? These guys don't get it. I heard Paul Heyman talk about it on Unreal. And it's like, okay, so you guys do have people backstage that get it. Paul Heyman is a fucking Hall of Famer, and he ain't in there for no shits and giggles. He earned you know what I'm saying? He owned a company. He ran a company that was competing on a competitive level, even though it was in third place with the WWE, who was way more funded, and WCW, which is even way more funded than WWE was. And he was the third. He was like, yo, people know about this. When they got absolved by WWE put their titles up on TV. The ECW champion. Remember when Taker was in the ring, was like Bautista, John Cena, and Bobby Lashley with the ECW, and Undertaker had to pick a champion. Man, you shitting me? Listen to Paul Heyman, even though he was talking about Penta being white hot, and he was like, there's a couple things you got to listen for. The entrance pop, which, yeah, they're just excited to see you. But then during the match, when you're starting to make your comeback, are the crowd super into it, trying to will you? Because you don't get that during Jey Uso matches, which also, this is what separates star. Like when Roman started, you'll be like, the crowd will start, Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. And it's not just in the matches when he start. And Paul Heyman's 100% right. Like these are your over when the crowd is going crazy for, like, oh my god, he started this coming. Oh, Roman. Hulk Hogan had this. John Cena had this until they started hating John Cena, but whatever. Everybody has these things. Randy Orton has it now. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. We're going to give you Sami Zayn. You interviewed Sid. Sid told you. What's that guy's name again? Sami Zayn? Yeah, him. He's had his like, that.
Oh, shit.
Sammy needs to be in the mid-tiers at WrestleMania in Saudi, winning it with a great storyline to become an Intercontinental Champion or a U.S. Champion, whatever. Doesn't matter. But there needs to be a storyline attached and why it's such a big deal. World Champion is just not especially not at WrestleMania. Maybe one of the smaller pay-per-views, sure. And he keeps it for like 60 days or 45 days or so or whatever. But Mania? Oh, it's in Saudi. Who gives a fuck? $1 Million Man addressed that about about Bret Hart one time, where Bret didn't want to drop the title in Canada, and Ted DiBiase made such a valid point. Why does it matter where you drop the belt?
Yeah, like
There's
everyone
millions
can
of
see it
people
around the world, no matter where you at.
No matter where you at. Salute to Ted DiBiase. Put him on creative.
I'll say this tonight, though. Sammy did a good job selling being defeated. That dude walked around backstage, ain't say a word, was just moping and all that.
I love when the chat be getting into it like that. Like, fuck. And again, Sami Zayn versus Carmelo Hayes works very well, especially on paper. Those guys are very athletic. Sammy should be our Razor Ramon of this era. So that's how I hold mid-tier titles, because they're the guys that got to carry the car. They're the guys that you don't want to miss on a bathroom break. So when the car goes, like, it starts, you know what I'm saying? You could start a car with a car match, or you can make middle of the card. Or there's some cards when you got that rivalry up there, you could headline. SummerSlam 92 was headlined by British Bulldog versus Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. Just speaking facts. And it was a super classic match. Super classic. And it was in Wembley. So you can't tell me that, well, we don't know if we've done it before. Been here, done that, got the t-shirt. It could be done. You just got to have good storylines going into it. Remember, they had Diane, Brett's sister. She was married to Bulldog, and she didn't know who to choose. And it was breaking up the family, and you guys are killing me with all this shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So he always looked defeated. I'm tired. I'm an underdog. I'm so goddamn corny. I just came from the bar. I drank. Get out of here, bro. If Jay can, no, bro, we can't. They made a mistake with Jey Uso. I'm not gonna say a horrible mistake, but damn near. One, you let him win at WrestleMania. You took a chance, though, so I'm not totally mad at you. But your next biggest mistake was making him tap Gunther the way he did. Like, why is Jey Uso tapping? He has no finisher. He's going to use Gunther's finisher. When did we ever see people use the reverse move of somebody else and that ends the match? So that already told you it was a bad idea. We don't. Okay, then. This is a bad idea.
He should have just did the Uso splash, even if he had to do it like 5 times.
Yeah, and it would have worked. So, can I ask this question? It's a hip hop question, man, but this is irking me, man. There was a post. We're gonna divert a little bit, just a little bit. We might come back, but it's irking my soul. So a person posted and I commented, let's be clear. T.I. will wash most in the verses. Versus battles where you take your 20 song. Okay. You would have to put him against Wayne or Jay-Z. That's it. Do you agree with this fucking statement?
That he would wash like clearly.
Why?
Not clearly. He'll have some debatables. Not clearly.
So somebody on this page, facts. I wrote disagree. T.I. has hits and it's good, but let's be clear. All caps, a lot of artists have hits, uncaps. When you speak on some of these guys, that I made a list. Guys who will wash T.I. My list is Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Kanye West, Snoop, DMX, Nas, Busta Rhymes, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and Future, parentheses, not sure if he counts. Very competitive battles. 50 Cent, Jeezy, Ludacris, Ja Rule, and Gucci.
I would have threw Ludacris in there too.
I put Ludacris in the very competitive. Like these will be battles because remember they battled actual. They were beefing and had an issue. They rapped both on verses on Stomp. I think once Ludacris heard T.I.'s verse, then he rapped his verse. So a little bit of cheating there, but Method Man can't beat T.I. in a verses. If they had a rap off, like they rapped like a battle of like 2-minute rounds or something, yes, AZ too. AZ is much better rapper. AZ is probably one of the most slept on rappers ever. I put 50 as competitive because it's going to be depending on where you're from. But I'm going to be also, let's be very clear. If me personally, 50 will wash him. Wash. I hate saying it too. Drake. That's not even that's why I also put Kendrick Lamar. Drank. What was that? Swimming pools?
Yeah, swimming pools.
I got loyalty, DNA.
Yeah, swimming pools, DNA, loyalty. You know, you just threw me off with the hip hop, so I can't think right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. It irks my nerve because he responds, yeah, you bugging. 95% of the people you listed would get dusted. It wouldn't even be close. Ludacris isn't in the conversation. And then he said Ja Rule with the big-eyed emoji 3 times in a row. I would not say Tip's first album is a classic. Far from it.
What was his first album again?
I don't even remember it. That's why it's not a classic. But not trying to be funny because I just was trying to be funny there. T.I.'s first album, looking it up. It's the one where he had that he had the reggae artist singing the hook. No, his first one's not trap music. Trap music's his second album. That one, if you say is a classic, I would say it's not, but also I wouldn't argue it either.
I probably would have said Urban Legend or King.
No, that's Urban Legend's his third album.
Yeah, but I'll say that's probably, if you said classic, that's probably the one I'll say.
I think the closest thing he has to a classic album is King.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying either that or King. Those are my two.
I'm Serious is his first album. I'm Serious. That was the name of it. You know, when people when people caught Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt did horrible sales first week. Did less than 100. It did less than 80,000. It did like 60,000 or something. When people listen to it over time, they're like, Jesus Christ, this is a monster. So, yeah, Urban Legend, King, Paper Trail were fire. Urban Legend, trap music, King, T.I. versus T.I.P. Trouble Man, Heavy as the Head was dope too. But 50's hits are very potent. Very potent. And he has I have a versus playlist for 50, and I got well over 20 songs. I have one for T.I. I got well over 20 songs. And when I think about what's going to hit with these audience people, man, 50 was number one for a very long time. 50 has one album that did 10 million.
I'll say this with 50, because while they both have hits, I think 50 has better smash hits than T.I. does.
T.I. only has a very few smash hits.
I didn't want to say all that. I was trying to be
He
modest.
doesn't have very many smash. I'm talking about something that what's the most records he ever sold, right? It's gonna go off your leading singles. In the club is gonna watch anything that T.I.'s ever done.
Honestly,
Personally, I think that's not 50's best song. Many Men is
to
probably
me, yeah, Many Men to me.
is his best song. But when you look at numbers, it's gonna go to
In the club.
in the club.
Yeah.
But 50 also when you start to pull in his like guest appearances on those G Unit albums that dropped all around there. I'm a hustler. I'm a bona fide hustler. It gets ridiculous. I'm on fire up in here. It's burning hot. I got the magic stick. I can hit once. I can hit twice. I get the baddest. Like, bro, don't believe me? Come me tonight and I show you magic. T.I.'s got some dope stuff too. Don't get it twisted. The best, most competitive battle out of all that is probably him and T.I. But I don't. I think it's as T.I. plays his music and people are dancing. T.I. has a very I don't know. I think it could be closer than I think. I think it could be closer than I think. I think 50.
Yeah, I don't think it's clear. Like,
I
I
don't
don't
think it's,
agree
I
with
don't
the
think it's a
point of
wash.
saying he'll clearly wash, but he's gonna have plenty of debatables.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close battle. It's going to come down to preference. 50 is going to. I didn't like the fact that he laughed at the Ja Rule comment. Like, yeah, Ja Rule got played out after 50 hit the
I don't.
scene.
I'm gonna be real. I don't like that people act like Ja Rule ain't had shit running in hip hop for the 3 to 4 years.
Yes.
I don't like
Damn
that
near his
people act
first.
like he
Go
did.
listen to Veni Vedi Vici. In my race against time, I can't stop running through the red lights of my life. Even if I'm getting too hot, I'm gonna keep running through the red lights of my life. Lord, why the hell am I here? It's just like Ja was definitely holding it down, bro.
He was
Um,
before 50 popped up.
it
Ja
was
was
Ja Rule.
him. Like, we gotta be real.
Yeah, I definitely I don't know how we got to this conversation. I know how because that was irking me. And I apologize, y'all who came for wrestling. But it also is battle rap. And because versus is kind of, I know it's not the URL. I know it's not King of the Dot. I know it's not RBE. I know it's not trenches. I know it's, you know what I mean? But it's still a battle. And I'm a hip hop head to the death of me. I still get excited. I be dance like when I be still rewinding shit. So when I hear dope lyrics, I'll definitely you know what I'm saying? Does it sound good without a beat or is he just talking nonsense? A lot of your favorite artists are not as good as you think they are. Let's be honest. 50 isn't. 50 needs beats. 50 needs beats. You hear 50 shit in a cipher, no one's gonna be like, damn. No one's gonna say that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to songwriting, yeah, he's like that. You can have whatever you like. Shorty nice, whatever you like is fire, fire. What you know is probably T.I.'s biggest hit. No,
No, what you
Blurred
know?
Lines.
For Ti, his biggest hit.
Blurred Lines. As Blurred Lines did crazy numbers with Robin Thicke, crazy numbers. They got sued about it too. I can't remember what the outcome was and all that stuff. Rubber Band Man, Swagger Like. The thing is, he better not play Shoulder Lean.
No,
50 has a rebuttal for Shoulder Lean, which is crazy in the song with
bring him
Eminem.
out. Bring him out was a big hit from at the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. His biggest hits though, like
Yeah,
solo off his album, what you know is probably his breakout. That's the 2006 year. That's the dominant. Like when you talk about who owned what year, who was the most dominant rapper of the year, 2006 is a clear Ti year.
yeah.
It's probably his only one, but like 250 has probably like 2 or 3 years. 2003, which is the year he debuted, and then probably the next year after that.
Yeah,
Someone can argue 2005
I
because
think
that's when the match.
ironically, while we talking about Get Rich or Die Trying, I think today's the anniversary of that album.
Oh, it is
So there
because
you
it
go.
dropped early. It dropped early. It dropped 1 week early. Yes. Um, ASAP, 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 ASAP. Yeah, yeah. Ti's got some joints. Dead and Gone with Justin Timberlake. Um, also, even the joint he's got out right now. Let him know. Doing good numbers with older heads. 30, 33, 35 and up. 35 and up. And the age range is kind of high on that one. Because when T.I. was, like I said, his year that T.I. dominated hip hop was 2006. That was 20 years ago. If you was 55, you were 35 then. Going, yeah. Had to the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? 24. I'm a Flirt remix. He's got some shit. The thing I think that favors T.I., if I would say T.I. is going to win, is he has way more diversity than 50. Way more diversity. He can play, you don't know me. You might have seen me in the street. You don't know. When you holler, when you speak, remember, you don't know. So all the hating in the pocket pimping, you don't know me. Telling people you my partner. You there's a lot they can go into between that. Urban Legend was not a great album. It was really good. It was really good. It wasn't great. It was really, really good.
So you would say
if I put it on,
so you say King is his best. Well, not I'm not gonna say best album, but
no, King is. You can say it. Full
no,
faith.
I'm saying for you, do you think that was his best album?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Commercially, because also that was the year he drops. He's in the movie ATL. 2006 is a very dominant T.I. year.
Yeah.
I'll never even forget the video for What You Know when it had the two-tone. Did he have a two-tone 300 in the video? It was like black and red. It was fire though. The visuals on that video.
Oh yeah, what that other joint he had? It was no, that was in T.I. vs. T.I.P. Big things popping, little things popping.
He couldn't match King.
Yeah.
He can't match King. And T.I. vs. T.I.P. is another good album. He made it a double disc. Cool. Not bad. Why you want to go and do that, little ma? Hey, so why you? Yeah, it was definitely fire albums, but I gotta say this. It does depend on the crowd. But 50, unlike a lot of New York rappers, does not need to be in New York. He definitely don't need to be in Atlanta. But like, why don't people put T.I. and Jeezy together? I think that's more. Well, I'm not gonna say it's more comparable. I think whenever you change regions and like Ludacris versus Busta Rhymes, same artist, two different regions. They're both like the way they rap. They both kill features. They both like when you watch their videos, they're very zany and yeah. Jeezy versus Gucci was enough. I don't want to see Jeezy again, but there was a lot of years where Jeezy might have above T.I.
Oh yeah, Thug Motivation was one of those times.
Yeah, he was like, so there's this one year I know that T.I. dominated hip hop, and it was 2006. It's very hard to beat. He also had the PSC album come out. I'm a king, bankroll from the pockets of my jeans. I'm a king. He had a lot going on in 2006 in that time frame. But 50 had about 2 to 3 year run, like of dominant. Like he's the guy. He is the guy in hip hop. And it was hard to do anything. He was so good that when no one else can say this. Your backup crew, like DNA is the head guy, right? He's the most known guy here. And if DNA dropped the album, let's say his album was the multiplayer, right? Then Gamache drops an album. Then I drop all those sales get worse and worse and worse. Nelly has the St. Lunatics. None of them did shit. Murphy Lee even tried to go solo. It just did not work. Eminem had D12. You know what I'm saying? You just name people in their DTP for Ludacris. Every artist had a group that came out, and the group never does better than the original artist. But one group that did do very like they damn near was their own thing. Like the Murderers were under Ja Rule. the one Rockefeller, you know what I'm saying? Like none of them. But one group that was comparable to their leader was G Unit. 50 did 10 million records on his first record. Game
Yeah.
did 5. Banks went Banks is like 2 million sold. Buck went 1 million sold. So they want to ride with me. Put your hair down. You can like Yayo was the one, and then they put the group album out that went multi-platinum, and then Tony Yayo finally got released from prison, didn't do any touring, and he did like 800,000 copies. But he was the first one of that group, and then you had Hustlers and the G Unit soundtrack, the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack, also like the success of 50 was so crazy. Everything after him was a star made,
right?
And then star made.
Yeah, and then when he did Massacre, didn't that go like multi-platinum
in 1 week? Within over 1 million records sold within 7 days. Like the record before that was Snoop, and I think 50 was right behind him or right just past him. They did 800,000 something copies the first week, and then on their second week repeated the same number, which was unheard of. Normally you have a percentage drop off, 25%, 45%. Those are relatively that's why they always concentrate on first week sales. If you do like, if we're talking about the late 90s, early 2000s, and you do 125,000 copy sales, wrong. You're not going to get a second video because they probably invested more money into so the juice ain't worth the squeeze. 50 doing 800,000 something copies on his second week, which remember his record was sold out in stores, bro. That wave that 50 came with was undeniable, and I've never seen anything like it since. And the only time I seen something like it at all was Snoop. When Snoop dropped back in '93, it was 800,000 the first week, 800 something thousand the next week, 700 something that whatever it was, whatever number, crazy number he did the third. Snoop was wilding, and also did 1 million a week, and also Lil Wayne did 1 million a week. I think it was the Carter 3.
Yeah, I think it was Carter 3.
Yeah, so people have done it. It's just not very common.
Yeah.
But 1 million a week is crazy. Is insane.
I mean, in general, not a lot of albums can do that. Not even in hip hop.
No,
like
1 million copies.
Any album from any music genre, 1 mil a week is a crazy task.
Yeah, that's why 50 was saying that stuff about not getting awards and Grammys. Like, who the fuck is voting? Yeah, I just say that. I think if we can compare different artists to him, I know the guy said 95% of the people I named, he's bugging. He put question marks. He laughed at Snoop.
I think whoever commented that was probably born in like 2009.
No, we're the same age, bro. When you laugh at Snoop, Snoop has a lot of albums. If you go Google, go YouTube, DMX versus Snoop. They did a versus. And you may think, if I told you that Snoop and DMX did a versus, who would you think would win?
Honestly, I would say Snoop because he has a lot more.
Yeah, but remember, you're only going to get 20 songs, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the thing is, because of his variety, he's got more to select.
Bro, he did 20. DMX was singing along with him. DMX actually was singing one of his hits, which was a beautiful time. I just wish they would have got to do a versus under today's, because COVID was then, so they were just them two in a. It's still one of my favorite verses, and to see, because I was like, DMX about to watch this dude, and boy was I forgot all the nostalgia to the records. Boom! I don't want to make the noises, but like the gin and juice.
Yeah.
What's my name? Beautiful. I just want you to know you're my favorite. He didn't even perform that song. Didn't even perform it. 20 in the tuck without even touching some of his other biggest hits is crazy.
Next episode. That's
Ride for my
a
nigga.
Snoop track or a Dre track?
Huh?
Next episode. That's a Snoop or a Dre track?
But see, that's the thing too. I think next episode is a Dre track. I think it's on the Chronic 2001.
Okay.
But I mean, guess who? Whenever Snoop features with Dre, it's money.
Yeah, every time.
Except for that album they just recently did. But when you talk about people who are money together, and if you notice, you go to Hall Prison Universe, you can vote. You probably have seen my short that I did on this. In a versus battle of 2v2, which duo is the better duo? Dre and Snoop or Jay-Z and Kanye West?
And this is off music only, or we factor
Yeah,
in?
what else are you gonna base it on? Yeah. You don't take it like, oh, so and so did movies. Yeah, we talk about music.
That's a lot. I feel like it's a lot closer than most people will seem. But if I say Snoop and Dre, it's because both of them together have arguably two, if not three, of one of the greatest hip hop tracks.
What's up, motherfucker? Where my money at? You go, yo, that Watch the Throne album is crazy.
It is, but it's
I did not realize how crazy it was when I asked that question on my Hall Priest Universe. I had to go and re-listen. I was like, Jesus Christ. They damn near wasn't missing the whole album. Damn near. Like, it's pretty potent. Snoop and Dre just recently did an album called Missionary.
Yeah.
That Fisher just left that in the studio.
I didn't get to hear that, so I can't speak on that album.
But Watch the Throne?
No, Watch the Throne was fire. What you call it? Black Excellence, Otis.
I'm about to pull it. Yo, it's a lot. And then they have Diamonds Are Forever. Feel it coming in the air. But you also got 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at your door, ready to make an entrance. So back on up, because you know I'm about to rip shit up. Give me the microphone.
That track by itself is on almost every hip hop historian's top 5 greatest hip hop song ever.
It damn near is. Yeah, I yeah. Man, back. Oh man, watch the.
We're gonna skate to one song only. Turn my headphones up. It makes it easier.
Makes it easy. There's a lot. I wouldn't even count this. I'll just go with No Church in the Wild. What's a king to a god? What's a god to a king? What's a to a non-believer who don't believe in anything? I'm not saying their hits are higher than Dre and Snoop's. I wouldn't say that. But they have more. That's just the little album that when you add in all their songs that they did together, holy shit. And then they barely ever miss. So I don't know. But yeah, I think I don't know, man. Go to the Hall Priest Universe. We're gonna be talking about that. From is getting ready to come back on. I got some more because this TI question. I'm about to make a short tomorrow because this is really irking me. I'm about to call Buddy too. Like, yo, bro, what you talking about? Maybe we need to get on Twitter and do a versus, and you represent TI and I represent 50, or I'll represent any of the guys I named. Because you said 95% of the people I said was bullshit. And you put a laughing face next to Josh. You said Luda is not in the conversation. All right. Gamash, you got anything, any notes, quotes, anything before we get up out of here?
I know from where I'm at in New York, it's gonna be another cold weekend, so
Ooh.
I'm not excited about that. Back on a wrestling topic real quick.
Yes, sir.
Jade Cargill is going to finally have a title defense match next week. And that's crazy to think she's gonna have one after a little over 100 days. That's champion.
Whoo! I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see it. Who is it against?
Jordan Grace.
Does she have a main? Do you think that she? Because remember, we're not going to get more than 15 matches. I'm thinking between 10 to 12 total. Do you think that do you think that Jade is left off Mania?
Nah, I feel like they have to put her on Mania because of that belt.
Okay.
They have to. She ain't gonna be like a marquee match that anyone's gonna be hyped up about. Unfortunately, unless Bianca comes back early. If Bianca comes back early and we get Bianca Jade, yes, that's a marquee match people will be hyped for.
Yeah, let's definitely see that. I would definitely love to see it. This Wednesday, the Wednesday Night Wars. I'm gonna go ahead and market this now. You see it. This topic came up. It was a social media issue, or social media was brought forth. Bret Hart went on the Click, cancer in the dressing room, blah blah blah. Okay, here's the question: did the Click hurt the business? Did it help the business? What give us the situation? What do you think? Did they help or hurt the business? That's going to be the conversation of Wednesday Night Wars. I'm not going to say anything right now, but it will be more than just me and Gamaj this Wednesday, as some people have already expressed that they will be tapping in for this one. I didn't even put my opinion in the chat because I was like, and I'm doing a whole week worth. Yes, and I'm still in my chemistry courses. But I will be pulling information to make sure. I will be watching video back. I will be making sure what I say is law. Because y'all know how I do. I get in the crates. I do the research. The Undisputed Podcast Champion of the World, alongside your favorite wrestler's favorite podcaster, Gamaj, in the building. If you think your favorite wrestler is famous and he ain't got a picture with Gamaj, well, then he ain't as famous as you think he is. But click in the building, click up. Yeah, I don't want to keep getting hung up on Bianca. But Gamaj, you got anything before we get up out of here?
Nah, man. Just everybody stay warm, be safe.
Y'all know what it is. Tap into the Hall Prison Universe. We're gonna bring this over here. Where does T.I. rank with these against some of these artists for these verses, and who would you like to see him against? We will definitely be taking that on the Hall Prison Universe from. It's just come back April 19th, which is a WrestleMania day, so I gotta get my priorities straight. Outside of that, anything breaks in the wrestling world, we'll be coming at you. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like, share the broadcast. You know what I mean? Hit the notification bell so when we go live, you get informed. And I guess to see you Monday.
Yeah, they don't have nothing this weekend.
Damn. -16 with the wind chill. Mike, stay warm out there in Philly. God damn. Until Monday or something breaks, we will see y'all. Tap in.